Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Beyond Expo fireside chat on AI-powered conversations, bridging the gap between technology and human experience. I'm Charlie Campbell, an editor-at-large at Time Magazine, and I'm delighted today to welcome Nathan Xu, the CEO of Plaud.ai. Hi, Nathan. How are you doing, and how are you enjoying today's event?
Yeah, hi, Charlie. I'm feeling great. Yeah, thanks for spending time together. So everyone, I'm Nathan Xu, founder and CEO of Plaud.ai. So as you have watched the video, it's also my first time to watch this. We transform how the world captures, extracts, and utilizes intelligence from real-life interactions of what you say, hear, and see. So I'm glad to be here.
Fantastic. To kick off, what inspired you to found Plaud.ai, and how has the company's vision evolved since its inception?
Um, so I'm a fourth-time founder. Um, I have also been an investor in technology companies for a long time. And so I was either a founder or investor, and there was always tons of meetings and conversations that I thought would be very meaningful and important. There were lots of great ideas so I used to take lots of notes, but you could almost never try to keep up with everything. And also sometimes when you could not write down all the notes, you felt like, what was that great idea? You forgot. Then back in 2021, where I started thinking about start this company, the voice-to-text technology was already there. You could see, for example, back then there was an app from Google named Live Transcribe and Notifications. So that app had over 1 billion downloads, even back in 2021. So that was pre the GPT or the large language model era. So I thought, but that app had like a problem where you could only transcribe. You could not save the text, or you could not save the audio. And apparently, well, I thought if I would be able to create, a device that could offer an intuitive experience, note-taking solution that enables people to record easily, peace of mind, and then we could transcribe the audio to text. Keep track of all those important information, and potentially AI could be really helpful someday and make these products really helpful. And business-wise, there would be lots of potential. That was an assumption. So we started in 2021. We did R&D for over 12 months, and until I think it was in 2022. We launched our first product. It was a smart recorder. It didn't have the AI, but once we validated the product market fit with a smart recorder, we understood that it was time to add that AI element into the device. So we were about to hire the NLP engineers, right, to try to extract the tags, the relevant piece of information among that long dialogue. So, but in November 2022, right after GPT was released, I instantly realized AI note-taking would be the best product market fit for large language model. So large language model is essentially super helpful in extracting relevant, accurate text from lengthy random, conversations or dialogues. Then we added that functionality into this product, and then after half a year, we launched the product in the summer of 2023. Until now, I'm very proud where we have shipped over 700,000 devices to users globally. It's actually, getting close to 1 million devices. If you think about that magnitude of, we are shipping so many devices to close to 1 million individuals, where we are helping them record their conversations daily and try to save them maybe 1 hour a day in just taking notes or help them memorize stuff where they felt important. That's something we feel like AI is really beneficial to humanity.
As a journalist, I feel your pain when it comes to accurate note taking, and I'm showing my age here, but I had to learn shorthand when I was training to be a journalist, and had to accurately transcribe 100 words a minute was the test, and we had to do the shorthand and be judged on that. Thankfully, I don't think people have to do that again anymore. But how have meetings and information capture evolved in the AI era?
Well, apparently people started with handwriting with a pen and a piece of paper. I think it's a way to express your thoughts and navigate freely. With you can draw and link objects, etc. But so people work together, not just individually. So sometimes they would very often need to share the ideas to another person. That's where, if you think about, in the past decades, with Microsoft Teams or Notion or Google Workspace, all these collaboration tools have been super powerful and efficient in enabling people to write down things easily and also share that intelligence with people, right? So that was this manual process of writing down things from your thoughts or from you when you hear somebody else express that idea, and then share it. But I think this underestimated importance of like people were not realizing that when we speak to each other, it is essentially intelligence that lies within that context, right? Because let's say I have had this question with many people very often, where I ask people, so when we are having this conversation, what do you think is that we are exchanging to each other? And very often I get this answer that we are exchanging information. Well, it is not wrong, but if you think about it, if we were just exchanging information, then why wouldn't I read a book, let's say, the history of Steve Jobs, and then you read a book, let's say, the story of Charlie Munger? We would not be doing that. We are talking to each other, meaning I am expressing what I have thought about stuff. And when I hear what you say, it is what you have thought about. I describe it as human's brain processed intelligence, or human intelligence. And when you have that mindset of human intelligence, then you have a profound understanding of what is it about intelligence, right? When you talk, when you hear, and even when you see, there is intelligence. And it is everywhere, because we talk to people all the time and to lots of people with most of the work. So go back to the meeting, the technology around meetings or note taking. I think currently the solutions for online space is pretty advanced. We would have lots of AI meeting note tools with Zoom or Google Meet and a bunch of other platforms. But again, if you think about, there is so much intelligence that lies within every conversation between a doctor and a patient, a reporter and a founder and a politician, or a lawyer and a client, right? Almost every conversation there is intelligence, and we were not capturing that. So I think what we have created is a solution to enable people to easily capture that conversation with audio, right? We extract intelligence from that audio by transcribing the audio into text. And additionally, we summarize that lengthy text into summaries, actionable items, to-do lists, and even mind maps. And that is very helpful for people. But that is not, we're not stopping there. So the way that we describe what we aim to do in the long term is that we try to help people capture, extract, and utilize intelligence. That means, think about how we operate as like professionals, right? We talk to people and then we collaborate with our colleagues. We transfer that great idea to another person. Or we initiate a task that could be collaborated on either Notion or Slack and a bunch of other tools, and also we get the things done. So what we try to achieve is that we not only generate meeting summaries, we also try to create such collaborative features where you can easily share that paragraph or that context by adding another person's email address, and that person would be able to receive that relevant content, right? We also try to connect with lots of SaaS applications. Let's say if you're a salesperson using Plaud device and also Plaud.ai, we would have an API connected to Salesforce, where we would enable, generating the, let's say if I try to sell a car, we try to identify what is the budget, what is your preference about a car model, and then sending all those intelligence into the Salesforce software. We do that not only with Salesforce, we also do that with HubSpot in sales industry. If we talk about medical, we connect with Epic, some other EHR, electronic health record systems. It's happening almost every industry. So eventually, we hope that we could create this connected network of intelligence highways, right? It's going to be like we have hundreds of millions of sensors that could capture data for people in the real world, and also we try to automate that intelligence sharing among people, and automate that workflow for people to get things done much more efficiently.
But what does it mean for the workflow to be moved from manual to digital in terms of productivity, and what are some of the risks involved? Because I often see that when my emails are summarized by AI, there's often they miss the point of it or something's inaccurate there, and I think that's still a leap before we can completely trust a lot of the AI interpretations.
I think what's happening right now is that we are still introducing the magic of AI that people feel great about it. Well, wow, like AI can summarize my meeting such efficiently. But the problem is, how can we connect human intention with that AI-generated content, right? So yeah, that is very important, because if you think about AI, it doesn't necessarily know what is important, or what is the preference of trying to retrieve the summary from a conversation. Let's say some people are more data-centric, some people are more factual-based, or some people prefer the summary to be more general or more detail-oriented. So there are different styles. What we are working on is, can we enable people to maybe interact with potentially the device, where you can create a few activation codes. You say, hey, this is great. I love this. And then that means it is important per your own perception, your own mind, right? Or you can write down a few notes. Let's say you try to write down a few keywords throughout this dialogue. So AI can try to retrieve the context around that timeline, where you say, hey, this is, when you write that down, there is a timeline within that conversation. So it puts more attention into that piece of conversation. So I think it's not going to be entirely AI, or it's going to be like human AI interaction. So it's also what we try to do, like bridging the artificial intelligence and human intelligence.
And what about the sort of development of standards for the use of AI in professional settings? Because imagine if you're using AI in the workplace to summarize your workflow, there's lots of proprietary information there, which is being used to crunch data and to refine your algorithm, and needs to be secured. So I mean, are there national standards or global standards? I mean, what kind of world are we working towards? And
I think that's a great question. We're just getting started. We're like the inventor of this entire new solution. So I wouldn't say there is national standard or international standard till now. Um, but what we are doing already is that we would recommend all of our users to get consent before they start recording, which is the polite and also like lawfully right thing to do, right? You get to have permission before you start recording. But apparently, for people who are participating in these meetings, we also try to generate multi-party value from this note-taking activity. Let's say right now we're just generating the summary for the device owner, but very soon, if you check out the feature for next week, you will see that we could enable the Plaud.ai to generate. Let's say there's 3 people in that meeting. They have 3 different roles, and you can generate the summary for them individually, and you can send the summary to them, and that would make people feel when they are being recorded, they would get their own intelligence after that meeting, and it's going to be helpful. And if you think about how do we see what is the ultimate picture looking at look like in the future, I would say every single individual is going to have a wearable AI device that help them capture what they have said or heard and even seen, right? So that we, after combining that data set and then this super intelligent AI, we are going to create this super capable assistant to help people get things done instead of 8 hours a day. We are trying to get them fulfill their tasks by 4 hours a day. So instead of working, let's say, 5 days a week, why wouldn't we have people work 2 days a week, maybe in 2030? So if you think about the future, I think people are going to embrace the fact where you might not feel entirely comfortable being recorded, seeing everybody having such devices who's around you. But maybe if people all get that product and they can collaborate so efficiently, get things done so efficiently through AI, we might not work 5 days a week. We only work 2 days a week, and that is worth it, right? And the business owners would love that as well. So the way I look at the future, I think we're going to have all these controversies. The regulators will, scrutinize us, like what is the, standards, and we would definitely try to do what's the right thing to do, the lawful things to do, right? And yeah, we also acting out of that, even love, but it's going to be a challenging process. I admit it.
I suppose it's the same as now. Cell phone cameras are ubiquitous and CCTV are everywhere, and people are used to being filmed the whole time, and maybe in the future people will be used to being recorded as well, because that will just be become the new standard. But obviously there are lots of transcription and tools around, but what differentiates Plaud.ai? I mean, what makes your product different and sets it apart from the others on the market?
I think to start with, we are the only solution that's available and so great in capturing data from real-life interactions, right? Let's say sometimes you might think about, hey, a smartphone's app could also record audio. Even a laptop could do that. But let's say we already have the most advanced phones and laptops, but we are not capturing those audio on a daily basis. Think about how much percentage we are recording our conversations. It's a small fraction of what we have spoken. And apparently, as we have discussed, there is tons of intelligence in that. So I think by having the wearable AI devices that we develop, the Plaud Notes, the Plaud Notes Pin, and in the future, maybe Plaud Air, Plaud Glass, we're going to have so many Plaud devices that will enable people to capture data effortlessly. And with smartphones and laptops, I think they're just too busy. If you think about how many things would be lined up to achieve, they have tons of tasks, but the Plaud devices, they are dedicated to be your work companion. That it captures the data and process it. So that's one thing. The other thing is we try to create personalized AI experience, right? If you think about this entire industry, we are still just getting started. We record the meetings online for the other companies where we mostly enable people to capture offline data. And we offer the transcription, the meeting summaries. But again, I feel that we need to do more AI customization, like let's say reinforcement learning. So every time I generate a summary, I request you to say, hey, it is good or bad. I request you to send a few words to describe if you like this summary. Maybe you give the system a few ideas about how do you think that the summary would be improved. So the model can be trained based on your feedback. And that gradually personalized AI model is going to be working for you individually in the best way. It's like, think about if we hire the best assistant that we could have, possibly. That person is going to know us incredibly well. And that is something that AI needs to evolve, needs to be further developed to be able to achieve that.
I mean, obviously, you're Chinese from Hubei, and your company's founded in Silicon Valley. How have you found navigating current geopolitical tensions and tech tensions? Have they had any effect on the business?
Well, it is something that I might worry. It is not getting to us right now. I think we would work on almost everything based on first principle. That is one thing. The other thing is that do the right thing. The intention has to be good, regardless of the geopolitical challenges and stuff. For example, we are primarily serving our customers or clients in the U.S., in Japan, in Europe. So if you think about the data storage, the cloud service, so we have a large team in San Francisco where the engineers are working out the SaaS, the cloud solutions, data security, and compliance, stuff like that. So it is entirely, we have acquired a few certificates, right? Like the SOC 2 in the US and the HIPAA compliance for doctors. So we would, so it's going to be like invest in the right technology, just like how Microsoft would do it, how Google would do it, to be world-class level security standards. And then we try to get certificates that would endorse the brand, that would make people feel safe, right? And also we just be transparent and try to communicate to the public. Like, for example, we do have a large team in China as well, because if you think about working on hardware, the engineers in Shenzhen, they are most capable in design, engineer, and manufacturing the most sophisticated and advanced hardware. And we would be able to produce, let's say, the Plaud devices selling at $160 one unit to millions of people globally. But if we have to, kind of surrender to these political tensions and we manufacturing that device in the United States, it's going to be $500 or $1,000, and that's not benefiting humanity, right? So I just feel we have to look forward, and someday maybe the tensions might just cool down, and we have to admit that in the end AI could be potentially so productive that every nation is going to be so wealthy, and we would let go many such tensions and stuff. Yeah.
We all hope so. Nathan, I think we're out of time. Thank you very much for that fascinating talk, and best of luck with everything. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Charlie. Cool.